What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dill's Bangin Breakdowns. Saturday night's card, Derek Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira. Derek Lewis does not want to lose anymore, it looks like. He is a 40-year-old heavyweight hitter, and he showed it again Saturday night. Impressive. First fight of the night, though, KO, performance of the night, women's strawweight bout. I think I called it. Fatima Klein versus Melissa Martinez. Fatima Klein came out there and put her out in round three, two minutes in, but it was clean. Fatima looked good all night. The striking was there from both of them, actually. They didn't grapple too much. These little chicks are known for throwing hands, and Fatima threw the hands pretty hard, KO'd her in the third round. Congrats to her. That was actually pretty sick. Second fight in, I was pretty happy too. Mike Davis versus Mitch Ramirez. These boys came out banging too. Second round in, Mike Davis, boom, boom, two-piece combo, KO. I was tuned. I was dialed. I was yelling at that point. Another performance of the night. There was actually two he gave out. The first fight of the night, Fatima Klein got the performance of the night, and then the next heavyweight bout, the first heavyweight bout on the card. And all the heavyweight bouts in the card went pretty crazy, but Valter Walker, he submitted Kennedy Nzechukwu in the first round. And I must say, these heavyweights aren't really grappling. They're not really throwing on the ground. They don't want to, that's a lot of energy to just grapple for any period of time. In heavyweights, these guys are 265. They don't want to throw down for nothing. They're just trying to knock you out in the first round. But Valter Walker came out and submitted to Kennedy in the first round, and it was actually pretty nice. I'm pretty sure he put him to sleep. Great fight by them. Next fight up, Lauren Murphy versus Adora Mora. It was Lauren Murphy's last fight. She put the gloves down and went the full 15 minutes. Lauren Murphy fought like a champ. She's always fought like a champ. She's fought against the champs. Her name is nothing but champ. She's never had the belt, unfortunately, but she's always been a title runner, and she's been just an overall good sport in the MMA world and in the UFC. She's always down to fight. Pretty sure she's like 40-some years old also. But what a career for her. Happy for Adora Mora. She actually looked very good for the 15 minutes. Excuse me. Her gas tank looked very good for 15, but women's flyweight's tough. I'm going to keep an eye on her. We'll see what she does next. The co-main event on the prelims, Jake Matthews versus Chindi Njinkiai. Pardon my language, but Jake Matthews came out and put him to sleep with a submission in the first round. I believe it was a guillotine choke, and Chitty did tap, but it was nasty. And only 1 minute in, you're trying to read somebody and try and tell what they're doing in the first couple of minutes of the fight. You don't know whether you should strike or, you're trying to gauge the distance, see how far they are from you, maybe throw a couple kicks. And to submit him in the first round, you just want to come out and do something. And that's what he did. Jake Matthews came out and did something. That was sick. I love him. He's a good fighter. Australia always reps that Auckland area over there with Izzy and Volk and all them. Them guys are always throwing down. That was a sick fight. Last fight, the main event on the prelims, Curtis Blaydes versus Max Griffin. Curtis took the win. Curtis got kicked in the nuts so hard, and he was down for a good 2 minutes, and that was a bad kick. You heard it. And then they collided heads, cut Curtis open. Curtis definitely stalked him. Max Griffin was on the back pedal the whole entire fight. He really did not progress forward at all. Curtis literally walked him down the whole time. Don't get me wrong, they both ate a lot of shots. Max Griffin, phew. Let's see what the damage was for each of them on this fight. Total strikes, 71 for Curtis Blaydes and 63 for Max Griffin. Yeah, significant strikes thrown. They're pretty much even at around 60, 65 strikes through the whole fight. And them boys were throwing down the whole time. Nonstop heavy hits. Curtis took it. I love him. Keep an eye. Like I said, he fights out with Sean Strickland out of Vegas. Them guys are always throwing down, just like the boys from Auckland. Starting the main card out, though, we had that Junior Tafa fight versus Tuka Tukos. He submitted Junior Tafa in the second round, and Tuco really needed this because he was coming off a whole bunch of losses. And I'm happy he won it. He looked great. First round, they were throwing. The striking between them both looked good. He hurt Tafa at one point. And then he really did hurt Tafa at one point and submit him. I believe it was a rear naked choke. Good for him. Tuco's great fighter. Keep an eye on him always. Next fight in, Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. Vitor took it, submitted him in the first round. Like I said, if you're doing something in the first round, then boy, that means something. This is another heavyweight bout. This is back-to-back heavyweight fights on this card and back-to-back submissions by the heavyweights, which is crazy because these heavyweights aren't really doing anything like that. I'm pretty sure Walter Walker, that was his first submission win. Let's see Vitor Petrino. Let's see what he has. I can't imagine that he has much more than 1 or 2 submission wins. 1 wins by submission. I knew it. Yeah. These heavyweights don't really do that. Good for him though. It was a great fight until it lasted. Third fight up, we had Nate Lauder versus Morgan Chari. This was a fight also. KO, and these boys were banging the whole entire time. He finally put Nate down in the third round, and it was only a few seconds in. And once he hit him, it was a good combo. It was like a 3 or 4 punch combo. And once he hit him with the right hand, Nate stumbled back and hit the ground, and Morgan finished him off right there. Great fight. Got fight of the night because these boys just were banging the whole entire time. 50,000 went to Morgan for that fight of the night, and he deserves it. Like I said, that was a crazy nonstop battle for those 2 rounds. Third round, I guess he said, "Screw it, I'm sick of you. You're done." He's in the win column now. Keep an eye on him. He should get something in that featherweight bout for a ranking next on his next fight. It'd be cool to see him fight somebody. Calvin Kattar just lost, so maybe, I don't know, throw him in against that. I don't know. Speaking of Calvin Kattar, he was the next fight in. Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia wanted to win this. It went to unanimous decision. You could have, they threw it down for 15 minutes. Calvin Kattar didn't want to lose. He left bloodied up, though. Pretty sure they both left very bloodied up. Just a good fight. Co-main event, we had Stephen Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim. Pretty much a war, split decision. Stephen had the nastiest cut on his leg. I'm pretty sure he went right to the hospital, stitched up. The gash was like 6 inches long, and I couldn't look at it I had to look at it to see what happened, of course. I think, speaking of Wonderboy Thompson, I think he might be done. He may be just one of them stepping stones. He's lost his last 3 fights. Before that, he lose. He beat Kevin Holland. Lose. He beat Jeff Neal. He hasn't won much in the UFC in the past year or so. I think he's one of them stepping stones. Gabriel Bonfim came up, put him out, or put him to work for them in 15 minutes. Great fight. Main event. You saw me by the way I started this video. Derek Lewis did the same thing, I believe, his last fight. He is going to bombard you in that first couple seconds and put you down. 35 seconds in, KO. He has 265 pounds of meat swinging at you if he were to get you on that ground. He came in, got him down in the first 10 seconds, 15 seconds, ground and pound. Derek Lewis, 40 years old. I don't know what to do with him. I don't, because he's had a couple losses. He gets a couple wins. He's on the two fight win streak right now. Most knockouts in the UFC. 24 wins, 24 knockouts. Derek Lewis is something, so you can't count him out at 40 years old. We'll see, though. Heavyweight bout. I'd like to see something up with him. Okay, though. Something up, though. UFC 318. That's what's up this Saturday night. They're fighting for the BMF, the baddest motherfucker. Okay? Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, and those 2 guys in the lightweight bout are some of the baddest dudes in the division, I'd say. So it's gonna be a great fight. But you got some prelims. Ryan Span's fighting with the prelims versus Lukas Breski. I'm a big fan of Ryan Span. I'm gonna watch that one. Jimmy Groot's fighting right after him on the prelims. It's actually a pretty stacked card. Prelims, we have Albert Guter versus Robert Valentin. That's a banging fight. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Oh man, big fan of that one too. Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. That's a banging fight too. We have ranked fights on the prelims. The first ranked fight on the prelims is Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. That's the co-main event on the prelims. I don't even know, because Brendan Allen's my guy. He throws down. He doesn't play. His striking is crazy. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, but I'm not counting Brendan Allen out. Vittori's a little meatball unit, though. He is on a 2-fight losing streak also. So here we go. Ranked match right there. Get him back in the one column. I'm going for Brendan Allen these prelims if you guys need something. Next fight, Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. I'm a big fan of Kyler Phillips, but Oliveira, his last fight was crazy. He did not play in his last fight. It went to the full thing, but he fought a Nurmagomedov, and them guys don't play. So to go 15 minutes with a Nurmagomedov dude, crazy. Kyler Phillips, though, big fan. He's coming off a loss against Rob Font, but Rob Font's at OG, not counting that out. I'm going with Kyler Phillips on this one. That guy's crazy. Prelim start at 8 p.m. too. Sheesh. First fight on the main card, Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. I just saw a little video of Zellhuber talking. He says Michael Johnson's old, but you can't count him out because Michael Johnson's seasoned. He knows how to fight. He knows striking. He knows grappling. 2 wins by submission, 10 wins by knockout, 8 first-round finishes. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Daniel Zellhuber is new in the UFC, and he only has, not new, but he doesn't have the fights that Michael Johnson has. I'm going with Michael Johnson in this one, seasoned veteran. Next fight in, Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Pitbull already fought Yair Rodriguez and got smoked. This is on another banging card that you're going to fight. Dan Ige is going to work Pitbull in this one too. Patricio Pitbull still isn't ready for the UFC impact on his fighting skill. He came from Bellator and all the other belts, which is great. He got him. He's a black belt and probably and all the above, great fighter, but the UFC is different. I've been saying that. I think Dan Ige is going to whoop him on Saturday night. That's going to be a great fight. Next fight up, it's going to be a banger also. D-Rod said it himself. Kevin Holland said it himself also. Welterweight bout. This is going to be a banger. Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez. They were supposed to fight a couple times ago. One had to pull out. They were supposed to fight another time. Ended up switching it up. So this one is so highly anticipated. There's no odds on the UFC website, but it's going to be a banger. I'm going to put my money on Kevin Holland, if anything. I hope it's by submission. He's going to try and knock him out, I'm sure. Kevin Holland's in the win column right now, though. Beating up Vicente Luque and Nelson. Yeah, it's going to be a banging fight right there. Next fight in, hopefully this guy makes weight. We'll know on Thursday, but Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. I don't think Paulo Costa's ready for what Roman Kopolov's going to bring. Paulo hasn't fought. It's soon the last time he fought. I'm going to say 2023 if I had to say something. June 1st, 2024, Strickland beat him up. So over a year, Paulo Costa's been out of the ring. Roman Kopylov, he fought January of this year, beat up Chris Curtis, yeah. So that's going to be a banging fight too. If Paulo Costa makes it, he's known for pulling out the week of, a couple days before, weight, doesn't feel good, sickness, I'm not sure. I got my money on Roman Kopylov on that one. Not a fan of Paulo Costa after his previous performances and missing weights and all that. Main event, Saturday night, BMF belt, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. They've already fought. Dustin Poirier's already smoked them. It's for the belt. It's a very respectable fight. It's a very anticipated on the brawl that's going to be brought Saturday night between these two. Dustin Poirier's from Lafayette, Louisiana. They're fighting in New Orleans. Come on, hometown. I think he grew up in New Orleans. He did actually. He's from New Orleans. Lives in Lafayette now, I'm pretty sure. But what a way to retire for Dustin Poirier. Dustin the Diamond Poirier to go out as the champion one time and to have the BMF belt. But unfortunately, I don't think Max Holloway is going to let that happen. Max Holloway's talking about retiring him in his hometown and still keeping that belt. Woo! Max Holloway just got knocked out by Ilia Topuria, though. Dustin Poirier fought last June against Islam Makhachev and got submitted in the 5th round. I don't know they both are brawlers. They both bang. They both know how to box. They both say they're the best boxers. We know we're not going to see any groundwork by either of them. Nobody's taking each other down in this fight. They're both just going to bang for the whole entire 25 minutes if it goes that. I'm assuming Max Holloway's going to point to the middle, and these guys are just going to give it all they have for 15 or for 25 minutes. That's going to be crazy. I would love to say Dustin Poirier is going to win, but I do think Max Holloway is going to win just because of he wants to put Poirier away. It's a good reason to try and put him out. I got Holloway on this one. Some other cool news we got going on in the UFC though. Besides this, John Jones supposedly back in the testing pool. Conor McGregor wants to fight on the White House lawn. This Tom Aspinall fight coming up against Cyril Gane, I'm pretty sure, for the first title defense of this belt. I still don't know what's going on. I also do know that Poirier wants to fight Islam if Islam wins this belt against there's so many fights coming up. I can't even get my thinking right because of how many good fights are coming up. I still can't get over Dricus Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev, and they just booked I'm pretty sure they just booked Islam to fight somebody too coming up. Yeah. But either way, this White House UFC fight, it's gonna be 20,000 people. I heard. It's gonna be invite only. Everything comp due to the high security you have. If John Jones were to fight on this card, Dana White is saying that it potentially could be 5 title fights, 3 title fights. This is obviously going to be the best card the UFC's ever seen. You're going to have the White House in the background. If they turn the other way, you'll have the Washington Monument on that side. People coming out of retirement. Amanda Nunes wants to fight on this White House card. It's a year away. I'm sure so much could happen. I don't know what's going to happen. John Jones, it'd be crazy to see him fight. He's already done the money dance and the Trump dance after he won. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of good fights coming up. Besides this one, Whitaker, DeRitter coming up. Albiza, Tiara coming up. Du Plessis versus Khamzat. Diego Lopez versus Gene Silva. That's going to be a banger. Yeah, guys, a lot of good fights coming up. I can't wait to see what happens this Saturday. This Holloway versus Poirier 3. I'll tune in with you guys next week. I hope to see y'all, talk to y'all Saturday night on these fights.